Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm going to talk to you today about how on April the 6th, Julius Malema basically he took a lot of his supporters, the political party, the EFF, to the home of one of the wealthier white South Africans, and one that had a lot of farms as well. That has a lot of farms. And the reason he took them on there April the 6th was to protest the arrival of white settlers in South Africa, which happened on April 6, 1652. Now, before we go any further, all that happened on April the 6th, 1652 was that Jan van Riebeck went to Southern Africa, the Cape of Good Hope, to set up a refreshment station. And all basically this refreshment station was because the Netherlands had traded with a lot of Asian nations. And they needed a place, and they typically had to sail around Africa to get there. So they needed a place to dock their ships, in case the storms got rocky, or in case the sailors were tired and needed to rehydrate and rest a little bit. So it was basically a refreshment station. That's basically all it was. Well, basically with the refreshment station, they did come in contact with some of the natives of South Africa, the KhoiSan. But the blacks are not any more KhoiSan than the whites in South Africa are, because the blacks in South Africa, they came from where is modern day Cameroon and came down to South Africa, and they displaced the KhoiSan from their inhabited lands way worse than the Dutch settlers did. Also, with the Dutch settlers, actually what happened was the KhoiSan, there's a lot of evidence that the KhoiSan fired the first shot. They put poison on their arrows and tried to poison the Dutch settlers' cattle and steal their cattle. Now, was there a gross overreaction by the Dutch settlers? Absolutely. And not all KhoiSan did what some of the KhoiSan did to those Dutch settlers. And there was a bad overreaction, and Dutch settlers displaced a lot of KhoiSan from their native land and put them out to the Kalahari Desert. But that was also the result of many black tribes did the exact same thing, and at a much, much higher rate. And also, most of the time, when at first in South African history, when black tribes got displaced from their native land, it wasn't because of the white settlers. Now, sometimes it was. In the Xhosa Wars, there were violations of the Afrikaners with treaties from the Xhosa, and they encroached on Xhosa land, but the Xhosa did the same thing. But the other thing that happened was the Zulus absorbed the Ndwandwe and the Mathitwa tribes and basically absorbed them into Zulu Nation. Most of the displacement of black tribes at first was because of intertribal warfare with other black tribes. And Malema saying that the blacks and the KhoiSan are the same thing, that no, they're not. The original black inhabitants of South Africa oppressed the KhoiSan way worse than the white settlers did. And all Jan van Riebeck did was set up a refreshment station. So he was not an oppressor. He was not a bad guy. He was a good explorer and a good sailor. And Malema's telling a bunch of lies and spewing a bunch of propaganda, basically. So everybody's doing well. Take care. God bless, and bye-bye. Bye-bye.